So in today's video we're going to be looking at the ECPE exam, especially when the exams are around the corner, and I know a lot of you in the next couple of weeks are going to be sitting this exam, so good luck guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the speaking, and I'm going to be going through a lot of the questions that I get asked about this exam, and obviously I'm going to try and give you some answers. So let's have a look, shall we? First of all, what do I do if there is vocabulary in stage 2 that I don't know? And yes, we've all been there. You open the page, you're looking at your speaking options, and you suddenly realize, oh no, there's words here that I don't know. Ooh. Well, you have a couple of options here. Obviously, it's not a good start to the exam, really, considering you're still in the early stages of the speaking. But let's face it, it does happen, and there are some tricky words in the speaking. So the first thing you can do is just leave the word as it is and not change it. You might get away with that. The worst thing you can do is think you know what the word means, change it to something, and of course it doesn't mean that, because then you're going to summarize the wrong information to your partner. He's going to write down the wrong thing, and it gets a bit messy. The other thing you can do is ask the examiner. Now be careful here. You can ask the examiner what a point kind of means. If you don't understand a point, you could say, hang on, I'm not understanding what a grassroots company is, and they will prompt you to help you understand. The examiner, however, will not explain vocabulary to you during the test. So my recommendation here is simple. Keep the word the same if you're unsure. Don't panic. Everyone's in the same boat. It is tough, and unfortunately it is likely to happen. The only way you can get around this is by doing lots and lots of practice speaking tests, and make sure you understand all the vocabulary in them. The more you do this, the less likely it is that you're going to end up in this situation. Fingers crossed. Are we given time to prepare and take some notes in stage 2? Ooh, well, here is a little bit controversial. The answer is yes, of course you are. You should be given at least 2 minutes. I have spoken to a lot of students in the past, and a lot of students have contacted me saying, listen, there's no way I had 2 minutes to prepare, maybe 1 minute. The only thing I can say about this is, that maybe because you're concentrating on your options and things like that, it just seems that, time is passing more quickly. But yes, you should be given 2 minutes to prepare your options, for sure. In part 3, do I have to persuade my partner to choose my option? Do you? No, you don't. It doesn't matter what option you pick, and this is a common mistake, especially if really people don't have a teacher and they're preparing themselves for the exam. They think they understand the exam, but they don't. You do not have to pick your option in stage 3. The idea of stage 3 is you literally compare the 2 options you have chosen, and you are trying to pick the best one. It might be your option, it might not be your option. It really doesn't matter. And in fact, you should kind of be thinking about what option do we want in stage 4, because remember, in stage 4 you have to present it to the examiner, so you want to pick one that you've got lots of ideas for. And again, you can't use this as a reason. Oh, I think we should choose Carla because then we'll have tons of things to say in the next stage. You can't actually say that, but you can think it. Okay, so what do I do if I don't understand my partner? Yeah, this is, again, very tricky, especially if you're one of these candidates that isn't preparing with a school, and you don't really have any idea who you are going to be doing the exam with. You don't know their level of English or anything about them. So this is a big one here, and it can happen a lot. And the answer to this question is, imagine you were having a conversation normally. What would you do if you didn't understand someone? You would just say, sorry, could you repeat that? Could you say that again? And again, we're trying not to say that all the time, like every point they say. You shouldn't say, oh, can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't understand, because then your partner is just not going to be comfortable at all. But you do have the right to ask for clarification, or ask sometimes them to repeat it. And I think if you are with a partner, let's say they're speaking very fast, they're speaking like this because they're really nervous, their English is actually very good, but because of the nerves of the exam, they're actually speaking really quickly. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can say, sorry, can you slow down a bit? And again, you'll actually get marks for this, because the examiners, trust me, will already be aware of the situation. Maybe their English is, not of a high standard, so it's really hard for you to understand their points. I'm sure the ECPE examiners will factor this into your mark. Or if you do say, sorry, can you slow down a little bit? That's a logical thing to say. So again, very, very tricky this. What do I do if my partner will just not agree with me? And again, yes, you do have the situation, especially in part 3, where maybe it's related to the other question I just answered. They feel that they've got to pick their option, or maybe they just genuinely like their option more than you. Here you need to learn some expressions. Okay, I think we can agree to disagree, but we have to reach a decision. Something like this, which shows that you're acknowledging that you don't really agree, but you're also kind of prompting your partner to say, hey, come on, we need to kind of reach a decision. And again, you might get prompted by the examiner at this point. If they see the situation developing, the examiner will prompt you and say, can you reach a decision, please? So, the examiner will take care of this. But it's nice to learn some expressions to deal with this, because again, if you're in a business situation, this is more than likely to happen. So you do need to know how to deal with it. When can we look at each other's options? Ooh, yes. When can we look at each other's papers? Well, the short answer to this is stage 2, you're not allowed to look. That's why you have to take notes. Stage 3, you're still not allowed to look at the other person's piece of paper. So the answer here is stage 4 is when you only have one option and they let you actually look at the original paper. Yeah, so stage 4, you can look at each other's options. You can look at it in stage 5, but it's not really going to help you. What do I do if I get stuck? The eternal question. In the dreaded speaking exam, you're under pressure, you're stressed, I can feel it, I'm there with you, and you get stuck. You're like, what is that word? Oh, I know this. The best thing to do is just say anyway and keep on going. The examiners are going to know instantly, oh, this guy's stuck. The question is, what are they going to do about it? The best thing you can do is just paraphrase. Find another word if you can, or just say anyway and just keep speaking. Because sitting there for like 30, 40 seconds going, hang on, wait, I've got it. Oh, detrimental, that's the word I was looking for. You've already wasted like 30 seconds of time, you've thrown off your rhythm, your partner's rhythm. Don't do it. Just say, if you're stuck, try and paraphrase it. If you can't find another word, an easier word, then just say anyway and keep on talking with your next point. And generally, it is natural. I mean, you'll see sometimes when I'm shooting these videos, I get stuck, and that's exactly what I kind of do. Okay, so I hope these have answered some of your questions. Of course, if you have any other questions, please leave them as a comment and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye for now.